What's up, my dogs? Let me start off with a couple of quick housekeeping items now that we're making our second video. Before getting started, let me say this. Number one, in order to understand some of what you're going to hear in this video, you should listen to the first video that was made, which appears on this platform. Number two, if you don't subscribe, you're not going to hear about, the next video. So please hit the subscribe button and hit the thumbs up button. Finally, have you ever shared a video with anybody? Cool. Why don't you share this one? Tell whoever you're sharing it with to subscribe. Brothers and sisters, here we go. To George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland, to you and every one of my dogs in the world, today we're going to focus on how the cats are all about controlling the minds of us dogs. This lesson is about beginning to understand at a surface level how cats do their psycho dirt. And even though I'm saying we should focus on ourselves more than we talk about them, I have to focus this video and these videos on them so that we can understand where they're coming from and what they're doing. The action step for the next 2 weeks is this. Listen to cats speaking on the news or anywhere else where you can hear them speak about the issues that are happening right now in the world, and watch how their words are always an attempt to get everybody to number one, engage in cat love and worship. Number two, distract dogs from focusing on winning the war against them. And three, maintain the status quo. They want us to, in other words, take everything back to normal where the cats dominate dogs and we get trampled on. George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland, and every one of my dogs in the world. As I said in the last video, which was before the George Floyd killing, my dogs, you are in a worldwide war with the cats. My dogs, you are not in a national war with the cats. This is not racism. This is a worldwide war with the cats. I know you don't want to be in a worldwide war, but what you want and what you got ain't got nothing to do with each other. In this war, the greatest tool of the enemy is not the cat's artillery, it's not their media, it's not even their disgusting cat educational system. The greatest tool the cats have is the minds of us dogs being where they want them. In other words, the reason we keep losing is because the cats have been able to successfully get dogs to meow. How so? How do they get a dog to meow? Well, when you saw the video of George Floyd being choked by a cat, did you say to yourself, man, what the hell is this? Oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh, this is hard to watch. Or, no, we got to do something about this. Or anything along those lines? What you should have said and what we should have said, my dogs, is more death is coming because this is war. And we must strike them back to get to victory. If we didn't say that, then our mind still is not in the right place. So to the families of Floyd, Arbery, Taylor, and everybody listening, please stop talking about how unfair the system is. Stop talking about why they hate us. Stop talking about how much it hurts. Stop talking about how racist the cats are. Please stop talking about how bad police brutality is. The cats have supremacy in all areas of people activity. All areas. But stop saying those things. Why? Why do I want you to stop talking about how bad the cats are? Let me give you this little scenario. I want you to imagine, since the beginning of time, the lions have enjoyed eating gazelle. In fact, they say the gazelle is one of the lion's favorite meals. Imagine the gazelle having a protest against the lion for eating them. Some of the lion would attend the protests. Some of the lion would interview gazelle, asking him stupid questions like, why are some animals looting these woodlands? Don't you think that's wrong? Why don't you speak out against that? Any ignorant, but perhaps well-meaning gazelle might engage with the lion. But what's the lion really doing? Brothers and sisters, I submit to you that a lion's mouth is always watering to eat a gazelle. It's in their nature. Only a fool gazelle would ever think that there are lion allies. Even if the lion wanted to be an ally, everything they do, slight little things the lion do, little nuances, whispered suggestions, innocent questions they may ask, friendly seeming gestures, flirting with you, innocent fun-loving behaviors, are all designed to lead gazelle to one place, a pride feast. They're going to eat you. While no animal in nature would be so naive as to make themselves available to animals that see them as prey, My dogs think they can reason, outthink, outmaneuver, outwit, cry, beg, and scream for the cats to be civil and decent. Brothers and sisters, it's not going to happen. You're just going to get seduced into a boiling pot, and the main dish is going to be you. Why? Because the cats are at war with you, and they are very clear about that. My dogs, this has been proven through history. All of our movements have been infiltrated by cats or people the cats have hired to do their dirty bidding. All of your most successful businesses destroyed by cats. Destroying the continent of Africa, which we have to rebuild. Because the dogs refuse to see the cats as enemies in a war, they are able to do all of this. They want you to think that they're your friend because they call you their best girlfriend. They swing their ponytail and smile. My dogs, every little thing the cats do is to win a war. And the thing they want most is, again, not your businesses, your schools, your rhythm. No, it's not about all that. They want control of your mind, which they're able to get not just through big gestures like showing us dogs. They're showing us in loving relationships with them. On cat television commercials, on the cat TV shows, and all the new cat movies, they want us to see ourselves loving them, but they don't want us to see ourselves loving ourselves. The cats come to protest and hold signs. Why? They're trying to confuse the issues. Cats don't attend protests because they believe in other cats getting their foot or knee off our necks. Cats attend protests because they don't want to see dogs take a strong stand against them. As Malcolm X said, they want to add cream to the coffee, water down your cause, confuse the issues, be involved in something interesting and find a dog to have sex with, feel less racist, and the main one, they want to put the attention on themselves. That's a big one for cats. They want the attention on themselves. They've done this throughout history. They want to see you holding hands with them, hugging them, singing songs. They always rolling out a piano to try to get it all going to make them feel better and to put us back where? At the point of the status quo. We walk away saying what? Not all cats are bad, which means you're now mentally disarmed. Do you think the cats want to give up their superior position so that things can be better for you? If you think that, then you really do not understand cats and you do not understand war. An example of what they do is that they can't control China. So what do? They put all these messages out about China and all their human rights violations. Imagine the cats talking about somebody having a human rights violation. Can't believe it, brothers and sisters. My dogs, the cats are mastermind manipulators. They use symbols, smiles, soft tones, tears, ponytails, fellatio, threats. They hold doors, pull out chairs for you ladies, take your side on something that's of no consequence, call you girl, call you gal, call you bro, braid their hair, cornrow their hair, try to lock their hair, date and marry dogs, appoint a dog as head of an organization as cover for them to commit warlike acts on any dog who may apply for assistance at that job or in that organization. One of their newer tactics, put a black face at the front and then do all your dirt at the back. Brothers and sisters, the cat's mouths are always watering for dog. And because we don't study history, we fall victim each and every time. Did you see how slick they were about covering the protests? They kept whining about looters. Brothers and sisters, they don't really care about no looter. Because the cats are so warlike in their thinking, they know that after a damaged building can come what? A damaged cat body. So they want you to stop the looting and go hold hands with them in protest singing no justice, no peace. Even though there's no justice, they still want the peace. All it is an attempt to eventually get back to what? Reporting on the things that the cats care about. Cat coronavirus, Trump, and other cat shit. The cat should have everything back to normal in just a week or so. So when a dog gets choked, they want you to just calm down. And finally, my dogs, let me be clear. If the cats wanted to change the brutality happening against us dogs, it wouldn't require a single protest or a march. It would only take a phone call. The cats know that, but they're enjoying themselves because they enjoy the mayhem. So our lesson is this. No matter what, the cats' mouths are watering for dog blood. Instead of mixing it up with them, send this video to about 10 people. The action for the next 2 weeks is this. Run a personal experiment. I want you to listen to cats speaking on any news programs or anywhere else where you can hear them speak about the issues that are taking place right now in the world, and watch how their words are always an attempt to get everybody to, number one, engage in cat love and worship, number two, distract dogs from focusing on winning the war against them, and number three, maintain status quo, which means keep everything the way they have it set up. I'm going to talk about those three briefly, and then we're going to be out of here. Engaging in cat love and worship. The cats know that because of years of training of their slaves, dogs will always open their arms to cats because it might be a genuine gesture. Why don't you just go out and hug a poisonous snake? It might be a good one that would never bite you. While the cats play good cop, bad cop better than anybody else in world history, brothers and sisters, the math goes like this. Good cop plus bad cop equals a cat victory. Why? Because in this game, it's an issue of getting our minds to belong to them. But also, guess what? They also want your heart. Because we're going to go out there and have conversations that harken us back to what? Us being passive. Listening to white women. We should all forgive, right? And then here you go, yeah, that's true. Okay, well, so come over here and give me a hug, and whatever you got for me, Tyrone James, and remember, I'll kill your brother or your sister or whatever, but you be a good boy and come over here and you just forgive me, and you remember everything we taught you. And then here you go, hugging and kissing and forgiving. 2, distracting dogs from focusing on winning the war against them. The cats are mastermind manipulators. They put themselves into the mix, and because of the training and cat worship over the years, they can get us dogs to focus on them instead of us focusing on ourselves, which I said at the beginning, I've got to focus on them for these videos so that we can get to us. We need to be building schools for our children, dating and marrying other dogs. The cats know if you're thinking about them, trying to get them to like us, worried about whether or not why do they hate us and all that stuff, then we won't be focused on what we need to do for ourselves. And finally, maintaining the status quo. Cats ain't playing when it comes to this. I'll give you an example. When the Floyd protests began, the first thing the cats did is to focus on violence, which is funny because the only language the cats actually understand is violence. Why do you think they've laid off the Muslims a bit? Because the Muslims spoke to them in a language they could understand. After they got the protests to become less violent, what did the cats do? They started mixing in stories about coronavirus, elections, old ladies crossing the street, whatever. So their next move is less stories about the protests, and eventually they'll return to 0% stories related to dog grievances. In just a few days, it'll be back to coronavirus and all their little coded messages. My dogs, don't let these cats determine what we're going to talk about, think about, believe, worship, etc. Focus on dog issues 90% of your day. Give them 10%, but in that 10%, we should be thinking about how we're going to beat them. Push mute when their dumbass commercials come on. My dogs, check out things that are happening in black places, such as on the continent of Africa. And remember, until next time, run a personal experiment. Listen to cats speaking on the news or anywhere else where you hear them speak about issues that are happening right now in the world. Watch how their words are always an attempt to get everybody to 1, engage in cat love and worship, 2, distract dogs from focusing on winning the war against them, 3, cats are very serious about maintaining the status quo. That is, getting us to make sure everything always stays the way it has been and still is. My dogs, subscribe to the page, share the video with at least 10 people, tell them to subscribe, support us. If you want to support us monetarily, hit us up on Venmo at Dogs Cats. Once the cats block us, which they will, you can hit us up on email. We'll tell you where we're going to be. Our email address is thedogswillwin@gmail.com. See you in a couple weeks.